Where do we stand on one nation, one poll? I told you last time itself, it's an election gimmick of Prime Minister Modi. He's a master of attention diversion politics. That's what he is. Unfortunately, he's delivered diddly squat for this country. The last 9 years of him being the Prime Minister, he's heralded, the lowest value of rupee, highest inflation ever in independent India, highest unemployment rate ever in independent India, and most importantly, I think he's failed miserably on all the promises he's made to the people of India. He had promised, let me remind you, that by 2022, India will be a 5 trillion economy. He has promised a house for every poor in the country by 2022. He had promised that 2 crore jobs will be delivered per year. He had promised that bullet trains will be running by 2022. He had promised that every house will have a potable drinking water connection. Has Modi delivered any one of these? Remember, he had even said कि अमेरिकन लोग लाइन में लग जाएंगे वीसा लेने इंडिया को, बट आज इंडियन सिटीजनशिप छोड़ के कई लोग बाहर जा रहे हैं. The point is, Prime Minister Modi has been the most inefficient, inept, incompetent Prime Minister of independent India, and probably the most corrupt. So therefore, in order to divert the attention of the people, he will resort to all kind of gimmicks, and 100% one nation, one election is a poll gimmick. If he is sincere, if he is serious, the special session was convened, he could have brought the bill. Unfortunately, Amrit Kal ka jo meeting tha, usme to kuch hua hi nahi. So, what I believe honestly is that it is an attention diverting gimmick. That's one. What was your second question? See, government of India in 1970s and 60s have campaigned vociferously that India needs to curb its population growth. Otherwise, we'll end up, in a really, really bad state. Now we talk about demographic dividend. Back then, demography and population was considered a disaster. The excess population was considered a disaster. Family planning was introduced in India. Extensive campaigns were launched right from the Prime Minister level. The southern states of India, which have performed well on the family planning norms and family planning parameters and have controlled population in comparison with the rest of India, because of the advice given by Government of India, are today the sufferers, today the victims. Today we are told that jitna janta, jitna abadi, utna haq. ये कहाँ की रीत है? अगर आज हमारी आवाज अगर दबाया जाएगा, if you think you can suppress our voices, our representation in the parliament because of this delimitation and because of this population parameter that they are taking, then I can promise you that you will see a sudden uprise. Because this is unfair. This is extremely unjust. Because it was Government of India that propagated. It was Government of India that wanted Indians to control, their population. Now, anybody, any state that has actually done well as per the advice of Government of India will now be penalized. And it's even more horrible, what's even more atrocious, if you ask me, is two states, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar together after delimitation, will have more number of parliament members than the entire southern India. How is this fair in a country like India? So therefore, cutting across political lines, you will see the southern political parties, the people of South India, voicing their concern, and I hope Delhi is listening, I hope Delhi is taking cognizance, because wisdom needs to prevail. We are all proud Indians. We are very, very proud Indian citizens. And South is the largest contributor to India's economy. 19% of the population is contributing nearly 35% of India's GDP. So therefore, I think we need to certainly have our voices be heard. Our representation cannot come down in any form, and we'll certainly, lead this, lead this discussion and see where it goes.